Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm actually really excited. I wasn't going to film with this, but I did pick up the Zodiac Palette from Kathleen Lights and Colourpop. I also picked up both of the new Luxe Lippies, and I really wanted them more for me because those are things I was actually interested in. But once I played with them a little bit, I did a few looks out of the palette and I really got to look at the collection. I really wanted to make it a point to show it to you here because there are some things about this palette that make it very special. Obviously, this color right here is near and dear to my heart already. So if you want to see me play around with these products, make sure to keep on watching. And please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload twice a week, and that is the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Editing Brett here. Just wanted to give you the heads up. I am filming on a new camera, and I'm still working out the settings, so there's a little bit of a weird yellow tint. I'm going to work that out for the next video, so sorry in advance, but the palette was still very true to color, and the colors did come off. I just had a little bit of a weird hue to my skin. Sorry. So quickly, before anything else, I'm going to insert a quick mini clip of me putting the eye look together. So starting off, I went into the shade Libra and just dusted that in the entire crease area. I did go in with a tacky base and I did not set it down to get optimal pigmentation. Then I went into the Virgo and I used this to define the outer portion of the eye. And this just set down a nice base of color. Then I took the Taurus and I used that to add some warmth and I blended out the entire crease with this color. And I really like the way that this kind of neutral trifecta works together. Then on my finger, I took the Pisces, which is the Vibrant Aqua in the palette, before I went in with my brush and just kind of built up the intensity. I wanted a high focus of color and shine on the bottom of the lid, and I wanted to kind of feather it up as I went to the crease. And then with no additional product on the brush, I just blended out any of those edges to make it really smooth. Then, dipping into those neutral shades again, predominantly the Virgo, I did build up that outer color and just buff a little bit more of that into the crease. And the purpose of this was just to really help everything tie together. Then, dipping into that same mixture of colors of Taurus and Libra, I just really focused on defining that outer portion of the crease and then intensified the lid one more time. The last thing I did on the top of the lid was I just clean brush, feathered everything up, took off any fallout and did my face makeup and set down a really quick nude liner. Then starting off with the Taurus on the lower lash line, I just built up a little bit of color before going in closer to the lash line with Virgo, and this just added some more definition. And finally, I took Aquarius, that beautiful blue shade, really close to the lash line, and that actually didn't end up being intense enough for me. So going back into Aquarius, I buffed it over all of those other shades. And then starting with Cancer, I took that on the inner corner, then Gemini a little bit further underneath, and finally I took the Leo on the center of the under eye. I wanted more of a gradient of shimmers. And then once I built that up to the intensity I wanted, I took a little bit of Libra and just blended all of that together. Lastly, I just hit up the brow bone with a little bit of Libra and Cancer mixed together. Now, obviously I used all of the colors today, so you did get to see them work. I'm gonna swatch the ones I didn't, which are the Aries right here, the Sagittarius down here, Capricorn, and are those the only three I didn't use? Oh, and Scorpio. So the reason I didn't use these ones today is just they didn't really go with the look I was putting together, but they're very pigmented. Like this shade right here, I really am excited to play with. And I really was going for more of a cool tone, so these two berry shades didn't really work for me, but I have used them already and they are just as good as the rest of the formula. The one thing I will say is the mattes don't swatch all that well, but on the eyes they perform really well. As you saw, I did use all of the mattes today, and I really enjoyed the Aquarius down here, dusting it in the crease. And when you take it with a brush and you build it up, or even when you swatch it, you get a whole lot of color. That doesn't exactly translate all that well, and it comes up a little dustier. But if you were to use it on a brush and build it up and pat it in, you could really get a whole lot of color out of it. Just the way that I used it today, I did use it a little more dusty, but that worked because it was more of a transition shade. Now, as for the lips, I am going to insert swatches of them as well. The first lip in the collection is the What's Your Sign. This is the one I'm wearing today. which is a really pretty peachy nude. And this, Kathleen said in her reveal video, is her perfect nude. And honestly, I love the way it looks. It does remind me a little bit of Mannequin from Jeffree Star or Ludwig from Kat Von D, both of which I really do enjoy. I did originally think it was gonna be a little bit too light for me, but once I got it in person, it worked really well. I am wearing it today with a little bit of the Kathleen Lights Colourpop Moonchild gloss. This is from, I think, 2 collections ago that she did. She's done a lot, but I am wearing this with the gloss. The second shade is called Scorpio Moon, which reminds me a lot of Androgyny from Jeffree Star. It is a very pretty mauve-y nude. Now, I would consider this a nude because this is not a mauve lipstick, and you'll see from the swatches, it's a lot more wearable, it's a lot more neutral, and it really does have a really pretty mauve undertone, so you can get away with wearing this a lot. I did the swatches on my lips of the Scorpio Moon lip first, and I actually had a little bit left over. So the shade you see now is kind of a mixture of the two. So I'm getting a little bit of that mauve on the outside. I didn't take it all the way off the lips, and I kind of used it almost like a liner, but I am really happy with how it turned out. Just in the favor of Kathleen, who doesn't do giant lashes, I am just wearing mascara today so that you can actually see the eye look, but I am so happy with how these colors play together. I'm happy with how well this pans out. The palette retails for $18, which her Dream Street palette, same size pans, same amount of shades, was $2 less, but they did throw in a very nice mirror. Oh, there's my camera. It did throw in a nice size mirror, so this is really good for travel. And I did find that if you ignore the 2 shades down here, which I would say are the more intimidating shades, which naturally are the ones I went for today, you can get a lot of really wearable, neutral, everyday colors out of this palette. I love the packaging. It is so luxe. I did not pick up the cream shadows, and the reason for that is I have a few of the Colourpop cream shadows, and I do like them, but I'm not really these are lips. I do have a few of the Colourpop cream shadows, and they're really pretty if you like cream shadows. Unfortunately, you know, I just don't love cream shadows. So for me, I would prefer going in with a powder. But if cream shadows are something you're into, like obviously these are stunning. And I think this might have actually been a pretty fast video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. The whole collection is currently available. It did restock, including the Moonchild Gloss, which is probably my favorite Kathleen Lights product to date. It is just such a pretty, subtle gloss with a very soft sheen. It's got very soft micro glitter in it, so make sure to pick this up if you're interested. I will link the whole collection down below. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!